Attention, prisoner 903-8970, you're up for parole.
American Arts Radio presents live from Chisel Multimedia Studios, Comics on Parole in Hollywood South. Here's your host, Dan Glazer.
Wait, where's my guests? They disappeared. Oh, there they are. So we might as well get right into the show. In Atlanta, we have Atlanta is a great springboard for comedy. For young comics who want to start in comedy, Atlanta really is like a springboard. You can come here, you can get a lot of stage time. We have a lot of open mics. We have major clubs like the Punchline, like the Atlanta Comedy Theater, like Laughing Skull. Not only is it a springboard for young comics, you can get a job here to work your job while you're doing comedy. They're filming 50% of the movies are being filmed in Atlanta. You could be an extra here in Atlanta, make $250 a week, and do comedy at night. So it's really, while you might not make big bucks, this is a springboard for a lot of comics. It's been Clayton English got a start here. He won Last Comic Standing. We have Dulcie Sloan, who's now on The Daily Show. We have Rob Hayes, who was just on Jimmy Fallon. And I know there's some other comics that are going to be on Jimmy Fallon soon as well, I've heard. And there's another comic, reason I'm talking about this, there's another comic who's going to be leaving Atlanta and going off to Las Vegas. He has some kind of contract on Las Vegas. I don't know what it is yet. But his name is Mr. Benny Pitts. Let's put Benny's picture. Benny Pitts, this kid is full of energy. You're going to see him a lot in the future. He hosts the Atlanta Comedy Theater open mic. He tours at major comedy clubs, and he's working out some kind of contract deal in Vegas. I don't know what it is yet, but he will be calling, once he goes out to Vegas, he will be calling in to the show. I think, not only do I think you'll see this guy doing a lot of stand-up, touring, and television, maybe even movies. He's got a lot of energy. I could see him in a comedy cop flick of some time. There's another big comic out of Atlanta, K-Dub. K-Dub tours with T.I.'s company, who T.I.'s in a lot of movies. So I imagine we'll see K-Dub. I could see K-Dub and Benny Pitts doing a movie together. Benny, you're going to be here. This is the nicest kid in the world. He's a very nice kid. He's going to be calling into the show. He's a hilarious comic, and you'll be hearing a lot. I'll be talking about Benny Pitts in the future, I know. So wish Benny Pitts luck. He's a great guy and he deserves it. Anyway, so let's get on briefly. Before we have our guests on, I think I've showed my cousin, Lindsay Glazer. She's also doing she's touring. She's doing a lot of colleges. She's been a stand-up comic a couple of years. She's a lawyer. And she goes to universities and does her stand-up and talks about law, I believe, women's rights, etc. And she also has a documentary, isn't the right? She has a comedy thing she does on her YouTube channel called The Alpha Bitch. I call it LG Alpha B. And she gives opinions in kind of an angry, funny way about different topics. So this first topic she's going to be talking about is called I'm a Brunch Bitch, Alpha Bitch. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Is it a new week already? That means it's time for a brand new Alpha Bitch video. How lucky are you? The answer is very. This week we're talking brunch. The combination of breakfast and punching. As in, give me some freaking eggs or I'll punch you in the face. What? It's a combination of breakfast and lunch? Well, that's stupid. You're telling me I need a special event to eat steak for breakfast or Captain Crunch for lunch? If so, lock me up, because that's my normal Wednesday. Look, brunch is for amateurs. Y'all need to start going out for Sunday brunch. That's breakfast combined with lunch, combined with pretending you're British. What would you like with your omelet, Lindsay? For the rebel American colonies to rejoin their motherland. Pip, pip, suck it. By the way, you should have to pass a mimosa assessment test before entering the brunch establishment. Because after 6 mimosas, the only thing bottomless is your Aunt Melissa, who, for being honest, is just using the mimosas as an excuse. For the love of God, put your pants back on, Aunt Melissa. Adding BR to the front of everything just makes everything easier to deal with. Today I've got a bolonoscopy, followed by a dentist appointment, and then sex with my husband. I wouldn't do any of those things without the BR in front. Heck, I wouldn't do any of those things willingly on a normal day. I love brunch. If you don't like it, you can bro me. Alpha Britch out. Make sure to comment below and let me know what you would like to see me bitch about next. If your idea is the Alpha Bitchiest video of the week, I'll mail you this exclusive t-shirt free of charge. Alpha Bitch out. Is it a new week already? That means it's time for a brand new Alpha Bitch video.
I just happened to have my cousin Lindsay Glazer on the line. She actually was going to be here tonight, but she got on at Laughing Skull, so she went ahead. You take your time when you get it. She got time at Laughing Skull, a major comedy club here in Atlanta, but she has called in to grace us with her vocal presence. We just sold Alpha Brunch, Lindsay. And now, tell me, what gave you the idea to do these? What are they called? They're not documentaries. These opinionated comedy things. Well, there's a word for it. I can't think of it.
They're just like short opinionated clips. I don't know. I get tired of my friends asking me to go out to brunch for like $20 a.
Yeah.
Things that like come to me. I just am writing about things I complain about to everyone, and I'm like, I might as well make a video out of it.
Well, you're, and I've never seen anyone work comedy as hard as you. Every night you're out, and your husband goes with you. He's filming. He's your biggest fan. And not only are you working major comedy clubs, you're traveling the country, you're working universities. How do you like performing at the universities?
The universities are amazing, but also different. They're like PG, they're very PG, they're very clean. They're great. I mean, it really changed my opinion of millennials. They're these amazing kids. They're going to change the world.
Right.
It is true. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I have a husband who comes with me, who videos me, who does everything to support me. Most people in comedy do not have that, and I'm sure that is why I'm further along than most people at my stage. Yeah,
my wife said the other day, she goes, Dan, either it's comedy, stand-up comedy, or me. Which one? I said, I'm glad this is a multiple choice question. Anyway, and then when you go to universities, you give talks on law, correct?
Yeah, I do both things. I do like an hour of stand-up comedy, and a lot of times they ask me also to do like what's called a learning session or some sort of educational session. Most recently it was about women's rights, but I'm actually going to give a speech soon in New York called Failure is the Only Option. And it's about how to fail like skillfully, basically, and how to use that as a jump forward to, increase your success in life, because there's so much anxiety in college and stress in college, and it's about how to deal with it.
Right. Now you're going to be, am I allowed to say you're going to have something on Comedy Central?
Yep.
Okay, tell us about it. Briefly tell us about it, and then I want to show everyone is a politics. Or in politics or addicts.
I actually did. Maggie Rowe runs it along with Brian C. Smith at Citizen Hispanic Comedy Central stage. I told a story about when I was a lawyer and I got arrested, and I was working for Harry Connick Sr. You can show the clip on Comedy Central. I'm not sure when. I think it's about 6 weeks from now. I signed the contract, and they're going to show it. It's a little bit more like the Moth than stand-up comedy. But, yeah, they're going to show it.
And Henry Connick Sr. is Henry Connick Jr.'s father, correct?
That's right. And he sings also. Harry Connick Sr. is Harry Connick Jr.'s father.
Well, and you were his lawyer, correct?
I was one of his district attorneys, absolutely.
Oh, very, very good. How can people find you on the internet?
They can go to www.lindsay.glazer.com, LINDSAY. They can follow me on Facebook at Lindsay Glazer Comedy at Gmail or Lindsay Glazer on Facebook.
Right.
You can sign up for my newsletter. You'll see where I am. I'm at Laughing Skull tonight. I just finished. I'll be back in Florida this week in Tampa at O'Brien's, Thursday at the West Palm Beach Improv, Friday in Huntsville, Alabama at the Epic Comedy Hour, and then this weekend at Laughing Skull. Do
you have any groupies yet, people following you?
Few, not many, but a few.
Not a few.
I have about 20 people who show up to every single thing I do.
Well, you're doing really well. You're killing. How was it at Laughing Skull tonight? Busy?
Laughing Skull is an amazing I really, really enjoyed it. I love everyone I met here. I'm sad I'm leaving tomorrow, but hey, I'll be back on the weekend.
Great thing about Laughing Skull, like Chris Tucker will pop in. I saw Margaret Cho popped in. Robin Williams one time popped in.
Someone told me Bill Burr popped in on Friday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, so a lot of big names pop in there, and Atlanta Comedy Theater and the Punchline. So I was trying, before you got on the phone, I was telling people Atlanta is a great springboard for comics. And while you're a comic here, you can get a job pretty easily. You don't want to do restaurant work, you can go be an extra in the movies here. So it's a really
a great scene. Iron sharpens iron here. It's awesome.
It really is. So right now, I'll let you go, and I'm going to play the Everyone in Politics is an Addict by LG Alpha B.
My dad's favorite video.
Oh, it's your dad's favorite? Her dad is my first cousin. And anyway, well, thanks, Lindsay. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, talk to you later. Okay, bye. So, okay, the reason kids, that I put Lindsay on first is because this little video she's doing leads into politics. So our next guest, it's politically related. So right now, let's show Everyone in Politics as an Addict by LG Alpha B.
Hi, Lindsay Glazer here. Again, you don't like it? Stop watching. You're still watching because you like it. And here's what I'm bitching about this week. Politicians. All of them. Let me explain politicians to you. You know how drug addicts will do anything to get more money so they can buy more drugs? Orally pleasure a hobo. Steal a TV. Give a hobo a TV while orally pleasuring another hobo. Run-of-the-mill drug addict stuff. Politicians are like that, but not with drugs. Except maybe that ex-Florida congressman who was busted for cocaine. Hey, Florida, my home state, can you knock it off already? You're making us look bad in front of our friends. Politicians are addicted to being politicians, and they'll do anything to get their next fix of political power, including take away your health care, destroy the environment, orally pleasure a TV-watching hobo. Looking at you, ex-Florida guy. These things they do, the laws these politicians pass, they don't seem logical from a common sense point of view. Because they're not logical, they're what the donors demand. And the donors who have special interests get what they want. Otherwise, the politicians don't get what they need. Money to help them stay in power. Hey, I get it. I love money and power and oral sex and TV. Not in that order. They're not over the country to get some of it. So what do? We elect a president who won't be beholden to any special interests because they'll be so rich that they won't need the money. Oh. Make sure to comment below and let me know what you would like to see me bitch about next. If your idea is the Alpha Bitchiest video of the week, I'll mail you this exclusive t-shirt free of charge. Alpha Bitch out.
She'd break your legs. If you need anyone's legs broken, she'll break them. No, the reason right now I'm welcoming to stay Vanessa Stover and Spacey. Do you like to be introduced as Christina or Spacey?
Well, Spacey's my stage name, and today I'm talking about business, so you can say Christina.
Okay, Christina.
That's fine.
Spacey, I always call her Spacey Christina. Spacey and Vanessa are part of a show. They're part of the Kimmer Show at Houks. Kimmer and Jim Gossett Show. Kimmer's on 106.7. And it's a show with Jim Gossett, who does 150 different voices. You can hear him on the Newsmaker line on 106.7. The New Talk.
Yes, between
New
3
Talk.
and 6.
And what time are they on?
3 and 6.
3 and 6. Am I leaving anything out?
6.
About how funny they are?
Well, you'll see it in a minute. They have a show at Houks once a month. What day is it?
The next one is...
It's usually on a Saturday. Sometimes it's Friday and Saturday both.
Oh, okay? So where can they find the website?
It's newsmakerline.com.
And the Kimmer has been kind of an Atlanta fixture. He's been on this 30 years, maybe longer, on the radio here in Atlanta. And Jim Gossett does 150 different voices, and he calls in during the show, doing funny different voices of different people. Very, very funny. On this Comics on Parole, we give equal time to making fun of Republicans or Democrats. It doesn't matter. And Jim Gossett really does that. He does a great Donald Trump. He can do anyone.
Yeah.
But he makes fun of both sides, which I like. It's fun.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is show a set of Jim Gossett's set, a little bit of it. But before we do, Vanessa here is performing at Jim Gossett's show.
I've got to do it twice.
But I heard him say he's
Yeah.
going to use it in other shows.
Yeah, he'll use me in other shows, you know. So I show up, and then if he wants to put me on, I'm jumping up there. And
But next time you're going on at the beginning. You came in the middle.
right, I came in the middle this time.
And it was a good crowd because
Yeah.
you were raised a Democrat.
Right,
But we'll get into that with your set.
I was raised a Democrat, yes.
But before I want to show.
Is that sad?
But before we show what Jim Gossett,
turned into.
I want to explain this to you. He makes fun of both sides. And at that show, the Kimmer, Jim Gossett, and Johnny Perrazzo, who's a musician, it was like a fine-tuned machine. They were like a comedy trio. It was hilarious. Check out the website.
Newsmakerline.com.
So when you can see when these shows are. The interesting thing about, there was something I wanted to say about his set, what he does, and I can't think of it, what it is right now. But what we're doing, Spacey put a little clip together of the Kimmer and Jim performing. Johnny Perrazzo's in the background. And it's very funny. It's a lot of fun. Let's show this clip.
No, he's a freaking genius. He remembers bits we did 30 years ago. I'm not making that up. The lines, the dialogue, his stuff just comes to him. He's. In fact, I was thinking about a couple things. It used to be even bawdier than we are now. We've really calmed it down on the New Talk 106.7. I remember when Ronald Reagan, of course, I think it was the St. Patty's Day, and Ronald Reagan, only Jim Gossett could have Ronald Reagan turn kinky.
We got the tax time around the corner. We are all going to pay our income taxes. Yes. And I sung a little song for the Kimmer Show. I hope you like it. About paying your income tax. Poof, there go my money. With my 1040. The IRS, they takes it all. Just like my bookie. Oh, send it up to D.C. By all means, do not cheat. They take it from us working folk and send it to deadbeats under our screwed up system. Working, it don't pay. Just lie around like Dexter King. You're better off that way. Oh, poof, there goes my money. To the IRS it went. Just like Kimmer's final wife. They take every cent. They're terrible there down at the damn IRS. I hate those people.
10 more fun facts about Kimmer.
Uh-oh,
Here we go. Number 10. Peter Griffin. I'm not surprised Kimmer doesn't still have a phone in his office. I mean, years ago, his wife said he really needed an extension. Well. Number 9, our old friend Jackie Mason. With women, the Kimmer can hold his own, which is what most people make him do. Number 8, Hank Hill.
Kimmer's picture is on display at a funeral home. It says coming soon.
Number 7, our old friend Dennis Miller.
Dennis.
The Kimmer's future in radio is shakerier than Katharine Hepburn on the belt exerciser.
You sound just like him.
Chevy Chase has been pulled over more than Mrs. Kimmer's tank top. She's a lawyer, by the way. Number 6, Pee Wee Herman.
Kimmer told a girl he was having a party in his pants.
She said, "Is it a search party?" Number 5, our old friend from Monday Night Football, John Gruden.
Yeah, Kimmer's final wife was a lot like Colin Kaepernick.
What do you mean?
Well, every team in the NFL has tried them both out.
This is so damn mean. Maybe I should just stop.
No, keep going.
Number 4, Harry Carey. Hey, hello, the 3 words Kimmer's final wife hated to hear during sex.
What's that?
Honey, I'm home. Number 3, Foghorn Leghorn. I say, Kimmer got himself a horse. I say it's the only way he could have a stable relationship, son. I said it's the only way he could have a stable relationship. Number 3, Mr. Magoo. My George Kimmer caught his wife and the milkman in the act and said, "What are you two doing?" She said to the milkman, "See, I told you he was an idiot." And the number 1, I'm going to hell for this. And the number 1 fun fact about the Kimmer, Forrest Gump once told Kimmer, "Sure, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but until you catch one, you're just standing there holding your rod."
Top 10.
But I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. This woman is banging on my door. 3 o'clock in the morning, she's banging on my door and pounding and screaming and yelling. Christ, I finally got up and let her out. I mean, my God.
So anyway, but you can see he makes. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. I was talking to Jim Gossett. He performed before everyone in Congress, and he made fun of. They said you can make fun of anyone you want, but don't make fun of Ted Kennedy. So after the this is a true story. After the show, Ted Kennedy came up to him and said, "Why didn't you do an impression of me?" And he said, "Well, I was told not to." He wanted an impression of him, but anyway, he's been on Leno, everything. So, and like I said, this is an equal opportunity show. To me, a joke is a joke, whether it's a joke about a Republican or a Democrat. What's funny is funny, and it's more funny when you can make fun of both sides. And he makes fun of both sides. Interesting note: you saw Kimmer at the beginning, at the end. The last show I was at the show before this, and there was a really cute girl, a waitress and he kind of was joking about it. She liked him. And you said this, I went up to her, I said, "Kimber, she likes you. Take this opportunity." When he started joking about it, she let her hair down and it was waving. That's when they like you. And he says, "No," but you said this last show, she was dancing, went up and started dancing
She
with him.
did. She came up and took him by the hand and they were like dancing around. And I got some clips of it, but of course, it was just day before yesterday. So I wasn't able to get them for you today. But keep in mind that... they do clean stuff usually.
Yeah.
This particular show is the only time they really let their hair down.
This last show?
Yeah.
It was dirty?
Well, what you saw is a little bit racy compared to what he has to do
By
for
today's
the
standards,
corporate shows.
Oh yeah, it has to be very
when he
clean
does
for the
all
corporate.
like what at Congress, it would probably be a little bit too much.
Right. And he does a great Trump. He didn't really do Trump on this clip.
No, I didn't give you a Trump. We have a website for Trump, gossipastrump.com.
And he did a whole show at the Atlanta Comedy Theater as President Trump, and they had Hillary Clinton, and Josh Harris was moderating, and then we had President Obama there, played by he's from my hometown. He's from Anderson, Indiana. Anderson, J.A. Anderson.
J.A.
Yeah,
yes.
J.A. Anderson, really nice guy. Very funny guy, and he tours. Big job at SunTrust, but he tours. Mm-hmm. So is that show online? That show at Atlanta Comedy Theater with President Trump.
We have some clips from the Atlanta Comedy Theater show on the Trump site.
Okay.
Jim Gossett Comedy is his regular thing. Then we have gossipastrump.com where you can see the Trump thing.
Really? That was funny.
It's the 3 different brands that we've
created. It was gossip@trump.com. So Vanessa performs at the Kimmer show at Houck's. And where's Houck's located? In Crabapple?
It's off of 140 at Crabapple, right there on the corner.
Kind of straight off Holcomb Bridge, really.
Yeah, there's like 3 gas stations there. It's behind... What is that, a BP there?
Well, they'll find it. Yeah. But anyway, so you did a set, and we got a clip of your last set.
Oh, awesome. It was a lot of fun.
But I told Christina something today, and I want to come out. Atlanta is a place to come out in, and I'm a trans. Oh, and the place gets quiet. And I know you're wondering which. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Christina. I was born a Democrat. Yes, It's been horrible. It's been horrible. You know, but in my defense, as an old school Democrat, you know, my dad was an iron worker. I got coal miners in my family. I'm from West Virginia. You know, a lot of military, construction workers. And, you know, we are God-fearing, family-loving, flag-waving, anthem-singing, take your damn hat off and sing, boy. Moonshine drinking, pot-smoking. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's just me. That last one. Somebody's got to drive to the liquor store, okay? You know, in my family. So, but I was down here homeless, you know, and that's how I discovered the Kimmer Show. And I'm like, I keep listening, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not a liberal, thank God. You know, I identify as a Republican. Yes, yes. You know, and I grew up with so I feel this is really my safe space. You know, it is. But I grew up with a lot of toxic masculinity. Oh yeah, and I like it. I like it a lot. I better quit lying. I love it.
So anyway, that was a little bit of your humor.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now, your husband lives in my hometown, Anderson, Indiana.
Yeah.
And what was that? Yeah, I didn't. Do you talk to him?
Oh yeah, we keep in touch.
Do you ever go to Anderson?
No.
You don't go to Anderson?
No.
There's not much there.
No, there's
it's
not.
a dying town.
There wasn't anything there years
right
ago.
outside Indianapolis. There isn't much there. There's not much of a comedy scene.
No.
There. In fact, they're closing our one mall. Mounds Mall is closing.
Mounds Mall is closing?
Yeah, closing. I've been there since I was a little boy. Did a lot of good shoplifting there.
$5 discount. That's it.
So, like I said, now what's interesting, I was telling Spacey, even though the Kimmer Show is a little more conservative, there's a lot of Democrats that like that show. I know them.
Oh yeah.
They like it and they make fun of both sides. They really do, and that's
more of a conservative station, but to me. It's fair. It's how most Americans think.
Well, they
just won't admit to it.
But as long as if they make fun of both sides, it's more entertaining.
I love
but
that.
before we go anywhere, I will be at the Laughing Skull May 7th.
Well, what are you doing at Laughing Skull May 7th?
Comedy.
I'll be there too. I'm waiting tables.
What else do you
I'm waiting tables.
Tomorrow night I'll be at Gate City Brewery up in where's that, Alpharetta? Somewhere.
You know, Vanessa, I was performing the other day at one of the comedy clubs, and the owner of the club came up to me after my set and said, Dan, I want to ask you a question. Do you do stand-up comedy because you love it or for the money? I said, I do it because I love it. He said, good, because tonight you're not getting paid any money. I said, is it too late to change my answer?
Yeah.
And then he said to me, Dan, after I saw your set, I realized I think your comedy has reached the next level. I said, what's that? He goes, retirement.
Retirement, yeah.
And then he said, you know, Dan, I said, well, you know, I've been thinking about quitting comedy anyway. And he said, how can you quit something you never started?
Nah.
And then he said, Dan, really, honestly, there's a place I'm sure there's a place in comedy for you. And I said, where's that? He goes, sitting in the audience.
Yes.
I wish we had a drum here. Anyway, hey, if anyone else wants to come up and do funny political stuff, I don't care. You know who we have on the show a lot is Daryl Rhodes.
Oh, yeah, Daryl's awesome.
And he does some real funny political stuff. And I was actually in a video with him, and he did a real funny political. Were you there?
I've seen him twice, and he will not, if you talk to him, he says he's not political.
No,
on stage, his show.
He's not really political, but he can do funny political things.
Yeah.
He doesn't do a lot of political stuff, but he did this political video. It was very funny. I'd like to show it on the show. So anyway, if anyone wants to come and make fun of politics, there's plenty to do about it on both sides.
You were scaring me. You was buttoning your shirt, and I just didn't know what was going on. I
Anyway.
didn't know whether I should leave.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Comics on Parole in Hollywood South. You know, they do film a lot of movies in Atlanta, and the other day I was passing they film movies in parks.
I've been in two shorts. The Wish and the Wisp is winning some awards. That's what's Bashmere.
Why didn't you tell me? We could have shown it on the show.
I don't have any clips of that.
But
and then The Conscious was another short that I was
Did you get
in.
paid?
It's, no.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
She's done some other stuff she got paid.
The
show's about over, guys. I got to end it. But I want to tell you, they're filming movies in downtown Atlanta. The Avengers movie that's coming, Infinity Wars. You can see a lot of the downtown scenes.
Yeah.
I was passing the field the other day, and they were filming a movie there. It was actually a porno movie. And I rolled down my window, and I yelled in disgust, "Hey, do you guys hiring any extras?" Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. We need a drum roll. Okay. Hey, thank you for
this.
You see why people never ask me to work.
Stop it.
Sure. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to Comics on Parole. Tune in next month when we don't know who will be on, but they will be here. Thank you.